Good afternoon, everybody. You're welcome to Punch Sports Extra. The print version is going to be our first thing on the minds of us to tell you this afternoon. But this is Punch Sports Extra, the online version. I beg your pardon, not the print version. But the first things we do is to give you the front page of the print version. Shegona is my name. I have Abinu Adiwale here with me, and together it's going to be a fantastic ride. Abinu, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Shegun.
All right, we're starting with the print edition of today's Punch Sports Extra, the front page analysis, and you could see a couple of Nigerian players, both for the Super Eagles and the Falcons, with the headline Redemption. Yes, Achigozie Awazie scored an own goal earlier, but somehow managed to get an equalizing header towards the end of the game. For Joe Echegini, she became hero when she scored a wonderful goal for Paris Saint-Germain women. Build very quickly.
For Awazie, the story of a villain and a hero. Just on the stroke of halftime, Nantes and Lorraine were really slugging it, and he ended up scoring at the back of his own net, giving the visitors the lead. And it could have been a priceless away win for Lorraine, but they dug deep again, and late into the second half stoppage time too. He was in the right place at the right time to head home the equalizer. The kind of character you want to see from a player like that. You know, scoring an own goal could demoralize you and put you out of the game. But then he's been very solid defensively, and it was the unfortunate own goal happened when he was trying to clear a back pass, intercept a pass too. So for him, he atoned for his error and got the much needed equalizer, and they continue to roar again.
All right, moving from that part of the headline on the front page to the left, where Murillo, a man who plays his football for Nottingham Forest and was one of those who downed Liverpool at the weekend, is being wanted by Chelsea. One wonders if Chelsea is not wanting everybody these days, Biodun.
Chelsea wants everybody, but I think they spend their money a little bit more wisely than the way it used to be.
Really?
Though they are still spending.
Garnacho.
They are still spending. You can imagine the first time the American came. It wasn't funny.
Yes, true.
You probably literally was signing almost every player that was available. But this time around, it still takes a lot of talks, a lot of time before they do. Now they have their eyes on Murillo, a player that I know that a lot of things has been on him. He's had like 3 decent seasons at Nottingham Forest, and you have to give credit to the club for being able to keep a lot of players like Murillo, who have been the crux of their team in the last 3 years as well. So it means one thing, that if Chelsea would really have to get him, if it's not just about talks, if it is not just about interest, they know what they have to do. Maybe convince them with more money, put some other incentives for the player as well. So there might be certain things he enjoys at Forest that he definitely will want to enjoy in London. So they know what to do when they have to get a player like that. But then I'm not surprised because of the interest. It's been coming in the last 3 seasons for Forest players. Still
sticking with the front page of Punch Sports Extra, the print version, and still sticking with Nottingham Forest, this time around to the Nigerian segment, where Taiwo Awoniyi, who plays his football with Nottingham Forest, is said to be on his way out and going back to Germany, where he cut his teeth a couple of years ago.
Well, Awoniyi is not the first choice striker. Apparently not the first choice, not the second choice, if you ask me to. So, and if you are not in the top 2 in the pecking order of strikers at your club, you definitely will be looking for the exit door too. And if you've done well in Germany before, if offers are coming from there, you would have to take a very good look at it. The only difference now is that the club is different. The last time he was in Germany, where he made his name, was at Union Berlin. And this time around, it's Werder Bremen, with the potential of teaming up with Victor
Boniface.
So Awoniyi definitely has to get the game time. If he's going to be assured of that, he's going to be, if he's in his top shape, because injury is one of the reasons he's in this situation at the moment. So if he's in top shape, he'll be able to fight for his shirt, stick his, get the number, get the starting shirt, and continues to play. Definitely, it will be a good time for him. But then it might just be too late. I'm not sure anything is. If that is going to happen, it will be in January. The AFCON will be home by December, so it means it will only be recalibrated back into the national team at the end of the World Cup for the next for March international window and all of that. So, and as far as the national team is concerned, he's not there at the moment or in recent time because he has not been playing, and we know what he is up to in the national team as well. So if the game time is what is going to get him back in the national team, he definitely has to look for it.
All right, still sticking with Nigeria this time around. The NFF are looking for a worthy opponent for the Nigerian Super Falcons in this open FIFA window. Biodun, 10 times African champions, and we are hustling to get an opponent.
Is it about hustling? Then, but I like the fact that he said maybe worthy opponents, because we've approached the opponents who felt they were not worthy of playing us because they were lesser than us. Everybody is looking for teams that they will be able to beat to get up high up in the rankings and all of that. So if you are approaching them, they know that they are probably going to get whitewashed by the Super Falcons. So, but for the NFF, they had the whole time, and it's not the first time the Super Falcons will be missing a window this year. Before the AFCON, they missed about 1 or 2 windows too. Before they started preparing for AFCON, for the AFCON. Now, 10 times champions, and we are still in this situation when we'll be defending the AFCON title sometimes next year, and also serving as a qualifier to the 2027 World Cup. So it speaks volume about how much attention the Nigeria Football Federation pays to the Super Falcons. It can never be the men's team. If FIFA window is coming, we already know
who we are playing,
what team we are playing. We were going to go into the continental, into the African players for the World Cup. Before then, we already had 2 friendly matches lined up. We had to cancel them so that the Super Eagles will face down. So if it doesn't happen in men's football, why should it happen
in females football,
in women's football? So the NFF really need to sit up. It is not when the break is approaching that we begin to ask questions. We are not even supposed to ask you before you tell us the team is going to be playing this friendly and that friendly. If you ask the player, they might not talk, but then we know they are unhappy with this situation.
All right, still sticking with the front page of Point Sports Extra, the print version. Tom Bashiru, Dele Bashiru, I mean the elder brother of Tom Dele Bashiru, plays in Lazio, but he's said to be wanted over there in Sunderland. Of course, remember that Maurizio Sarri, his manager at Napoli, at Lazio, I beg your pardon, has said that the man is not excelling his plans. So it remains to be seen what becomes of the player.
Yeah, particularly because of the upcoming AFCON. Sarri has said what he has said, but too, another thing he's considering is that is Dele Bashiru going to get invited into the national team for the AFCON? If they are going to be missing him for another 3 or 4 weeks, it means he won't have the time to maybe try to reintegrate him into the squad. So if Dele Bashiru is coming back from the AFCON by January, maybe from there he will be jumping straight to another club, because he wouldn't have had time to blend with his new man. He has just returned from injury. He wasn't even listed in their last game yesterday. So maybe by next week they will try to play him. But then before you know it, players will start getting invitations for the AFCON. And if he goes, it means I don't think Sarri will have any other option than to just let him go. So if Sunderland has an offer, he started at the Manchester City Academy, thoroughbred English kind of football, so he might just be able to adapt to the style of play. And it's good that they are in the Premier League and they are doing well as well. So he's not just coming into Sunderland to come and join a struggling team. He's coming into a team that is decent enough to at least try to retain their position in the EPL.
All right, still sticking with the front page of Point Sports Extra. Robert Lewandowski has said, Fenerbahce, no, not me and you. That man at that age wants to be playing for a team like Barcelona.
Maybe he still wants to go to Saudi too. He's really not open about what he wants as he approaches the end of the contract. And to Barcelona too, I think everybody is just keeping their cards very close to their chest as well. Barcelona are not giving him a blank check that they are going to renew their contract. As a matter of fact, they are looking for alternatives who can replace him, and Victor Osimhen is one of them too. So it's really dicey between the two of them, but maybe for a personal stance or anything, he has said it's not Fenerbahce, maybe Saudi, maybe at Barcelona. He would definitely fancy a chance of staying at Barcelona, but then not going to Fenerbahce.
All right, Vini Jr. is almost getting his new contract done over there at Real Madrid, even though it wasn't starting yesterday for the club. But there's been a couple of arguments, right, left, and center, because he was asking for money to be at par with Kylian Mbappe, and reports had it that some persons at the club felt, no, you're not performing at that level, we can't give you that same money. But somehow they are coming to a conclusion. Is it a good one for Vinicius Jr.?
Well, a good one for him, but beyond the contract, I'm just wondering, is it not funny how Vinicius Junior is learning how not to be a superstar any longer. I mean, I mean, it's crazy how he has gone from a Ballon d'Or contender to that boy that everybody just wants to say, okay, is he here? If he's here, let him come. If he's not here, we move on. I mean,
I think he's still a big player.
He's still a big player, really. But the relationship between him and his coach at the moment maybe does not really cover him in glory. And for his status to have made those demands, if you want me to stay, just give me this. Give me this and that. So.
And, you know, I'll continue with the club. All right, that'll be all for us from the front page of Punch Sports Extra, the print edition this morning. We'll now be going into the meat of the show. And where else do we begin with but with the trashing of Liverpool Football Club at the hands of relegation-threatening Nottingham Forest. This is a team that has had manager upon manager this season. They are on their third manager at the moment. It started with Nuno Espirito Santo. He had a clash with the management and the owners, and they had to go. Then came Ange Postecoglou. Bad results had to make him leave the club. Then step in Sean Dyche, the man Burnley fans love and admire so much. And they were just coming up against the Liverpool, who is not exactly having a great time in the second season of Arne Slot. And guess what they did? It's what they call plaster in local parlance. Them plaster Liverpool.
At Anfield. It was quite emphatic, especially from the perspective of Nottingham Forest. For Liverpool, it's just the same old story.
What is wrong with that team? Same superstars, no major injury concerns, additions. So what is the problem?
The problem is beginning with let's begin with the addition. It's one of the problems. Liverpool spent a lot, and you know, when a team spends a lot, you would expect that it automatically translates into
success.
But then it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that way. In Liverpool's case, we've seen some of these new players struggle to fit in, beginning from those at the wing, at the fullbacks. Frimpong has been out injured for most part of the season. He has not even been playing. Szoboszlai has been the deputy there. Conor Bradley, even when he starts, brings a different kind of football. I don't know why Slot is not so comfortable in keeping him in that position. Milos Keskes, on the other hand, on the left side of the team. So the two new fullbacks that were brought in offer something entirely different from what Liverpool are used to. Then in midfield too, we had Liverpool added Florian Wirtz, quite a number of players, which particularly have struggled to adapt. And Mohamed Salah, all of a sudden, in his form from last season, he probably forgot them, didn't bring them into the season, and he only started picking up some games ago, and he's not scoring too. So if he's not scoring, it's a problem. And they are conceding goals like water. So it's a problem of addition. And it's also a problem of cohesion, because the team I saw in the first 10 minutes against Nottingham Forest, I put out a tweet that I wonder what these guys do in training. Fine, they play, they create chances and all of that.
But there were opportunities. They almost should have scored.
But then amid all those opportunities, Liverpool look very disjointed, and it allows their opponents to pick spaces in between them, especially on second balls. They don't do well at all. So you begin to wonder what they do when they come together in training. So it's a problem of addition and cohesion. The team is very disjointed at the moment. So like what we are saying, imagine if Slot had bought all these players in his first season. So it's just like Liverpool are having a season they should have had.
They are having their second season in the first season. I mean, their first season in the second season.
Exactly.
Really.
So it's just a revised. Can we call that revised psychology?
But whatever they are doing is not working. And Slot keeps talking, but the talking is not working.
And then there's probably going to be a problem. Salah, even in his worst form this season, has played every game, as long as he's fit. Now he's picking up from what I see, the way he plays and all of that. But he's going to the AFCON by December. Liverpool
in 2 weeks' time.
Liverpool must learn to play without him again. So I don't see that stability coming in anytime soon, at least until January. So maybe by then it will now be survivor. How do we get into the Champions League position? How do we do this? I just hope it doesn't get that bad for the Reds before they regroup and begin to find their rhythm.
Thomas Frank is manager of Tottenham Hotspur, and he was playing his major derby with Arsenal. Mikel Arteta and his boys have been the major stars of the season so far. And yes, outside of the free cheap goal that was dashed to Spurs, it was Arsenal from beginning up until the end. And guess who came to the party? EE himself, Eberechi Eze, scoring not 1, not 2, but 3 goals, and he went home with the match ball. Arsenal are in a form that if they don't win the league this season, I don't ever think they'll win it anytime soon.
Congratulations to Eberechi Eze, a guy that has spoke everything that is happening to him. He has spoken it into existence.
Since that tweet is now getting numbers.
A long time.
He said when he gets there, you will remember this tweet. Wow.
So he's spoken it into existence, and he's living the dream already. With the club of his, maybe his club
of his dreams.
In fact, just before we came on to, I saw a photo of the Super Eagles in London in 2017, and he was somewhere in between the team. Even took a picture with them.
Yes, he was with Iwobi, he was with Chuba Akpom and those boys.
Even took a picture with them inside the dressing room. You see how a guy has been locking around his dreams all the while, just trying to make it. And look at him, fully blown now. He's coming into Arsenal at a time that it looks like they are in their prime. And one thing that suits me really about them this season is that, see, if you want any type of football, Arsenal will play.
They will play it.
If
it turns to Gidigbo,
they will.
If it turns to let's just defend and not concede,
they will. Because at a point in this season, their fans were slamming them when the season was just starting.
But they are not scoring.
We didn't play well against Manchester United, but we won. Is it the winning you want, or you want to play well? But then they've been able to make their choice, and they want it anyhow. Just deliver the title. Now they are 6 points clear. It's just
that's heavy.
And if you look at Manchester City, if you look at Liverpool, maybe the only team they have to contend with is Chelsea. So it's going to be about consistency. And they have the squad depth already. So let's just hope nothing bad happens to them between December and January. If they keep going this way, they might just be coasting to their first Premier League title in over 2 decades. They
are in the lead, like you said, 6 points ahead, and the other guys behind are not looking really serious at the moment. Talking about not being serious, Manchester City have had almost 80% of their goals this season scored by the robot himself, the Viking, Erling Haaland. But what happens on the day the Viking refuses to come to the party? They will experience what they experienced at the weekend, where things went really bad for them, and at the end of the day, some of the people in their dugouts even got into a small fight, and Pep Guardiola was, really angry. But, Manchester City, perhaps this is what happens to you when your scoring only lands at the feet of one man.
Exactly. And it was one of their problems last season as well, when Haaland wasn't really picking. Nothing was sticking in that team. So, but I think this time around, in their last game especially, I looked at Newcastle, and I wondered how decent of the kind of decent team they had, holding up City, matching them with every energy, and got the goals when it mattered most. City have some situations, they have some personnel that are quite enigmatic, so to say, in such a way that Erling Haaland is there. And look at Gianluigi Donnarumma for them in goal as well. He makes a lot of saves that you think that if you want to believe that if he was not there, it could have been worse. So I think that's the situation that City, that perfectly describes the situation that City are in right now. Their situation is it could have been worse. So they just have to take it like that. When they win again, they will feel blessed. They will feel they can go again. And at this moment, the gap is not so wide. It's just 7 points between them and Arsenal. So they can still keep playing catching up, maybe until both of them meet again. And if it becomes a potential title decider between them two.
All right, like Beonu said, a 3-point win for Newcastle. Fantastic day. They could have scored as many as 6. Wotemada, having my FPL team, just couldn't score about 3 open chances. Even Avi Barnes, who got the winner himself, could have gotten a hat-trick. Somehow it didn't happen. They had lots and lots of chances, but in the end, they got all 3 points. And so a very bad weekend for Liverpool, for City, Well, a good one for Arsenal and Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club of England, a good one for them. Pedro Neto getting the first goal, and then they got a second goal, and then 3 points. These guys looks like they are the only ones that can actually challenge Arsenal this season.
Yeah, they look like that. But I just hope Maresca doesn't evoke the curse that he brought upon them last season too. They just have to keep going. And from what was it a lesson from last season or 2 seasons ago? Stay humble.
All right. Moving away from England very quickly. Of course, just before leaving England, you know United is playing tonight against Everton, so yeah. It's not over. 9 games played, 1 more game left, and let's see what becomes of a team where both manager and player got the player and manager of the month, both of them for Manchester United last time around.
Well, just on a lighter note, by the time that by nightfall, everybody is already thinking about Champions League nights.
Of course, Tuesday, Wednesday.
But your team is playing on Monday nights.
Interesting one. Well, you take that also as not Champions League but Peons League, you know, you just take it and move. All right, moving over to Spain, where there was Spain in Madrid. Somehow they couldn't defeat Elche, and you wonder what Xabi Alonso is doing. Now 1 point ahead of Barcelona, by the way, who defeated Athletic Club about 4-1 or something like that. It was a massacre. What's wrong with Real Madrid?
Well, I didn't check. I didn't check if Andre Silva, the Elche player that Madrid mistakenly used in his picture, in tribute to Diogo Jota's brother and Jota himself. I'm not sure if he made any sort of meaningful impact.
Nah, he didn't.
Oh, then it's ironic, but then on the other side, it's painful for Madrid. Now it's reduced to 1 point.
Just 1 point.
After a 2-2 draw. And that 2-2 draw, they had to labor.
Yes, before Jude Bellingham got something.
and it looked like they had to check that goal again to ensure that did the ball even cross the line when Mbappe tried to keep it in play and all of that. And so it's kind of pain. You expect that Madrid will build on the momentum that they had going, especially after beating Barcelona, maybe try to extend it. And now, Barcelona, whether you like it or not, have an extra motivation. They are back at the Camp Nou. It means they will definitely have that kind of energy to want to go. At one point, anything can still happen at this point. So you look forward to Madrid's next game. Are they going to drop points? Will they be able to maybe still keep it at 1 point? You win, I win, until we meet again. None of them at this point, can afford any slip up, and that might prove costly eventually. And in Xabi Alonso's first season, especially after I don't know how to describe the kind of season Madrid had under Ancelotti last year. It looked decent, but everybody knew, no, this is not the standard. So Alonso is trying to build that. Unfortunately, too, there are some cracks in the wall, especially with the players and all that. They say he thinks he's Pep Guardiola and
thinks he's a superstar manager
and all of that. So everybody just have to keep their head in check at this time and just deliver. Do your job, deliver, and move.
All right, moving away from football for a short while. I mean, when everybody heard that Anthony Joshua was likely to be fighting this year, 2025, people felt perhaps it's time for him to face one of the big boys once again. But guess who will be fighting? Jake Paul, the YouTuber. The good thing, though, from that bout is that there will be lots of money involved. I hear it's going to be 50-50, and I hear it's going to be really heavy money, about £70 million each. I mean, you know, with boxing, you keep hearing reports until when you can, you know, really be sure. But one thing we are sure about is that it's over £100 million. Some other persons have said it's about 70-70, that's 140. You know, a lot of figures are coming up, but whatever it is,
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But the YouTuber and for the boxer.
Well, Anthony Joshua indeed wasn't supposed to fight this year. And if I was him too, if a YouTuber is challenging me and I see that kind of money, I was definitely going to come out and use that fight as a prep. Well, it might not really be up as if, let me just throw some punches, make some money, and just get back into the gym and continue my preparations. Because from even what we understand, Joshua might even retire in 2026, but he still has some fights that are still on the cards for him to take. A lot of these fights should have happened long time ago if he wasn't derailed in his quest to becoming a 3-time world champion. So it's a very tough situation for him, trying to get back into the status that he was, and all of a sudden this distraction of a fight is coming. But if it comes with that kind of money too, just take it and move. Next time, Jake Paul won't say he wants to challenge you if you are at that level. Would Jake Paul want to go challenge Alexander Usyk or any of those top belt holders at the moment? So it's just a distraction. But for Joshua, he wasn't supposed to fight this year. So if that one is coming, just brush it aside as quickly as you can and move on to the preparation for your next fight in 2026.
All right, you can see what is happening in the world of boxing. It's the money spinning.
Well, let's not forget that Bash Ali. Bash Ali also made a ring return in Nigeria during the weekend.
This weekend, yes. And, you know, he at 69, he says he still has records to break. Perhaps Gen Zs may not really know him, but if you are a millennial, you should know Bash Ali fighting to stop the world. I mean, how do you used to say it then? I mean, why is Bash Ali fighting at 69?
I saw, I don't know why. You probably want to ask, the promoters definitely jumped on it too and tried to organize something real and something worthwhile for people who want to enjoy. So it's a lot of things are involved in all of this. So it was his will, and they just had everybody, promoters, everybody, agents, everybody just had to align with it.
But we don't have the financial details of Bash Ali's fight, unlike the one we have. The one we have with
the money doesn't usually spin around here. Unfortunately, too, from Nigeria, we have some boxing promotions in Nigeria who are doing a lot for grassroots boxers and all of that. But then the money doesn't really spin like what
foreign boxing. But did he win? Did he win?
I would have to
because I didn't see any report about it. I heard he was going to fight.
There was no, except you were there, you would not be able to confirm what actually went on.
My goodness.
But then we did saw videos of his ring announcements, was this some form of sparring just before the fight and all of that. So I saw all of those things, and I'm sure people had a great time.
All right, interesting. Moving on very, very quickly to the Nigerian Premier Football League, where Nasarawa United is still holding sway at the top there. And guess who is second? Ikorodu City. This was a club that came from relegation about 2 seasons ago. Last season, they narrowly missed a place on the continent. I remember we were together watching the Remo game and checking to see if Ikorodu City was going to get it. They did not, but right now, they're in the Champions League spot, and they perhaps can even chase for the league.
Yeah. At the moment, if they play today, because their own match is today, if they get a very good result, they win Katsina United. They might just reclaim their top spot.
Because they are on 24 points. Nasarawa is on 27.
Exactly. So they might reclaim their top spot again. But if they don't, they are in a very good position.
Yeah.
And they can, from the kind of team that I've seen from last season till now, very decent. They can take their make their fate. They can just take it as long as they want. Stay there and stay with that kind of. There's some kind of character that you need, especially in the business end of the season. Maybe that was why they missed out on the continental season. But then I'm very sure they must have learnt this time and try to stay there and try to rubber stamp their continental tickets if they are ready to go on the continent.
All right. Champions Remo Stars defeated Barao 2-0. It was in barrel draw between Kwara United and 3SC. 3SC getting a point over there in Kwara State. And the league is still going on strong, even though there are controversies here and there. The sporting director of 3SC was posting online about how the pitches of the various clubs have caused a lot of damage to his own team, because about 3 of his players have gotten injured. I mean, we wonder, how is the health of our players not being considered? And some of these pitches are being allowed to be used. Unfortunately, time is not our friend this afternoon, but very big thank you to Biodun Adewale for being a part of this. The biggest thing belongs to you out there, because like I always say, we are here because you are there. Have a fantastic end of the month of November, because when we come your way again next week, we are going to be in the last month of the year. Stay away from trouble, guys. Shegonda is my name. God bless you.